Okay, shalom, mashallah, shalom, shalom. Kola Yahweh, Shalom, Mashiach, Malak, Yahushua, Baruch HaKadosh, Tazma, Wakwan, Squam, Bakum, Inshallah, Habat, Makim, Wakwa. Hey, man, back at it with another David Tom video, part 2. Let me, make sure everything running smooth, make sure we live and everything like that. Make sure everything going well. Okay, con. All right, we in the building, man. We in the building. As you can see by the title, today's topic is going to be fake love, fake friends, and fake love, man. Fake friends and fake love. Fake friends and fake love. I mean, step 1, let's go to Sirach. Chapter 6. Let's go to Sirach chapter 6, right? Fake friends and fake love. Because you got to understand, everybody don't have your best interests at heart. And being in this truth and following the laws and statutes and commandments of the Most High God, you understand that that is expected of men. That's expected of women. Right. So you expect your brother to have your best interest at their heart, man. You expect your sister to want nothing but the greatest from you. Right? That's what you expect. But when men and women fall short from here, it'll really cause you off. When men and women fall short, it'll really cause you to battle certain spirits, all kinds of stuff. It'll really make you feel a certain way. Right. So we're gonna go through the criteria of what a real friend is. We're gonna go through the criteria of what a fake friend is, and what real love is, and what fake love is. And we're gonna do that by how going through the accounts, the scriptures to justify our cause. Okay, so this is Sirach chapter 6, verse 8. It says, "Sucky." Right, so it's lucky. Sirach chapter 6 and verse 8 says, "For some man is a friend for his own occasion, it will not abide in the day of thy trouble." Right, so some man, he's only going to be able to endure and to abide when he wants to, when he think is right. Right, that's the main one. When he think is right, that's when he gonna be able to be a friend and to be cordial and to be real friendly, man. That's his own occasion. Whatever he think is right, or whatever benefits him. Right. Some men, if you don't have no benefit from a friendship, they're gonna cast you away. Is that righteous? No, that ain't righteous. Right. In our friendship, I should be able to benefit from you as much as you benefit from me. Right. That's how it should go in this truth. Just because you might have a little bit more opportunity than I do, or just because she might have more opportunity than she does that mean that's an unequal friendship? Y'all should equally be able to willing to give up sacrifices for one another. Y'all should equally be able to give up and do, and I might do this favor, or you might do this favor, and we don't gotta expect nothing in return, man. And we're gonna go into scriptures to actually prove these things. Because friendships nowadays is fake and phony, man. It's fake and phony. It's fake and phony. A lot of times we throw around that term friend, we throw around that term, brother and all that other stuff. But really, when you come to the knowledge of the scriptures, you can be my brother more than you be my friend. All right? And the world don't understand that. You can be my brother before you can be my friend. All right, we're gonna get into it because the scriptures say what? It's a friend that's sticking close to a brother. You can be my brother, yeah, because we both Israelites. We're blood. We're related, brother. Right? We're the same nation. Right? Me and you got the same forefather. It is what it is. We're brothers. But guess what? You may not be my friend through spirit. Right? And that's okay. Right? That's okay. Right? Let's stay in Sirach chapter 6 and let's jump down to verse number 17. It says, "Whoso feareth the Lord shall direct his friendship aright. For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also." So when you fear the Lord, that means guess what? I'm not going to have to cross my brother out. When I fear the Lord, I'm not going to have to damn double back and stab my brother in the back. And that's what they're doing. That's what they literally do in the world, man. Right? If you missing something or whatever it may be, or you missing some money or whatever it may be, hey, guess what? I'm gonna go slime my brother out, or whatever it may be, whatever they say. Right, I'm gonna boast that. I'm gonna go ahead and go do this dirt, or whatever it may be. That's what friendships got going on nowadays, man. That ain't cool, right? That stuff actually plays on people's mind even after the occasion actually happens. Right? It's been times where I've been lied to and manipulated by my friends and all those other things like that, and you never forget it, right? You might forget, but you never forget. You know how that kind of stuff goes, right? Now let's get another precept in the book of Romans, chapter 3 and verse 23, because we first and foremost we have to establish and understand, right, that nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. So you're hardly gonna have a relationship or a friendship that is 100% what you want it to be, what you want it to be, right? Right, and that's where faith comes in, because once you understand that nobody's perfect, then you're able to understand, like, okay, we can move differently. Like I cannot expect certain things out of you because nobody's perfect, right? Sometimes you might say something that another person don't like. Sometimes you might do something or even be interested in something that another person don't like. Well, we have to understand that nobody is perfect, man. Right, so let's go to this in the book of Romans, chapter 3, and verse 23. It says, "For we all have sinned and come short of the glory of God." Right? So nobody is perfect, man. We all sin and come short. You can sin by proud speech. Right? I mean, in this truth, if a brother sin, I'm gonna get mad and I'm gonna look at him different. Right? I mean, but at the same day, does that mean I can't treat that brother with respect? Just because I don't deal with that same sin don't mean I can look at that brother any other kind of way. Just because I don't deal with the same personality traits that brother deal with don't mean he can't be my friend. Don't mean he can't really be there when I need him. Don't mean I can't be there when he need him. Don't mean I can't hang out with him. Right? That's not scriptural. Right, here it is, this brother, he's into something that you may not be into. And you just look at it like, oh, he's weird. Oh no, that brother, no, he's a castaway. He's a throwaway, right? So then therefore you look at him like he has nothing to do with you. No, that's not scriptural. You don't have to throw him away. You can acknowledge him and reverence that he's here, and maybe actually take a little bit of interest in what he's in. Then you become a friendly person. So we're gonna get into it. David was a friendly person, right? But we're gonna get into it, right? Let's get another precept in the side, right? Chapter 37 and verse 19, right? Ecclesiasticus chapter 37 and verse number 19. All right, just because something is not always 100% interested in what you're interested in doesn't mean they're a throwaway and a castaway. Sirach 37 and 19. It says, and if you do treat somebody like that, you're proud. You're proud, man. So it says, there is one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself. There is one that sheweth wisdom in words and is hated. He shall be destitute of all food. So guess what? If I'm lacking in a certain area, I'm gonna be destitute of food. If I'm lacking in a certain area, that's what's gonna shine, and that's how it goes, man. Right? If we have a friendship, and I see that you don't execute this office, you don't execute this personality trait, you don't execute this duty as is expected, that's where you're gonna lack food at, and you're gonna have problems there. Your friendship, your marriage is gonna have problems. It's gonna have problems because nobody is perfect, man. And sometimes we forget that. We forget it, right? I mean, me and my wife, we share a whole bunch of things in common, which is beautiful. But the little things that we don't share in common, those things are not shined in the forefront. It's not shined in the light. Like that's a stumbling block in between this. Why? Because when it comes to love, brotherly love, or when it comes to husband and wife love, when it comes to sisterly love, your disagreements and your disagreements are not always shined in the forefront, but rather agree on your agreements. All right. Like they say in the world, even though I hate this saying, in the world, they say we can agree to disagree. And I hate that saying. But to a certain degree, you should be able, no pun intended, to a certain, dispensation, you should be able to look past your differences in a relationship and a friendship, right? It says, because there's one that teacheth many is yet unprofitable unto himself. There's one that's true of wisdom is words and is hated. He should be destitute of all. Why? Because he's lacking in that wisdom that you may have, or he's lacking in that little bit of knowledge that you may have, right? I may always 24/7 want to talk about the precepts. I might always 25/8 want to break something down. But you're not that way. Sometimes you like to talk about something else for fun. Or sometimes you might have a hobby or a pastime that's outside of strictly breaking down the precepts how I like it. Guess what? We're gonna bump heads because of that one thing. I can't see past it. And you can't see past that one thing. So guess what? Now we're gonna bump heads and we're never gonna build a relationship. So would you rather build a relationship of companionship, or would you rather be strangers? Right? And I leave that up to you to answer. Me, with the Spirit of the Lord, I'd rather build a relationship of companionship. Right? But you never know who anybody is. You never know who you're talking about. You never know who you're dealing with. Right? This brother can be somebody very important in regeneration, if you got ears to hear. This sister, she can be somebody that's actually has a warm heart and actually have love and sincerity in her heart. But instead of me going to build a companionship, right, and I just chose to be a stranger with that person, I'll never open up my mind. I never open up those doors of opportunity to meet somebody new that can benefit my life and that can benefit their life. Right? I might like football, that brother might like basketball. But guess what? My knowledge can benefit his knowledge, and his knowledge can benefit my knowledge. It's always an opportunity to open up space for companionship rather than living the life of strangers and not knowing each other. Right? Let's read on in Sirach 37. It says, "For grace is not given him from the Lord, because he is deprived of all wisdom." You're deprived of all wisdom. So when you choose to let that one thing that you don't have, when you choose to let that one aspect another person don't have, when you choose to let those things weigh at the forefront, right, and not be able to look past those things, guess what? You're only gonna grow to a certain amount. Right? It says, "For grace is not given him from the Lord, because he is deprived of all wisdom." Right? Because you allow that deprivation to sit in the forefront and you not be able to look past it and to work around it, you're not gonna be increased wisdom. Why? Because you didn't open up an opportunity for companionship in that instance. You understand? So let's go to the book of James, chapter 2, and verse number 10. Because nobody is perfect, man. And you have to understand that before you move further in this breakdown. You have to understand that nobody is perfect. Your husband is not perfect. Your wife is not perfect. Your friend, your cousin, your best friend is not perfect. Once you understand that, you're going to be able to take your friendship and your marriage different, your family, your family relationship to different levels, man. All right, so let's go to the book of James, chapter 2, and verse number 10. It says, For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of them all. He is guilty of all. You understand that? So I'll say it again. Select. Right? I might deal with a certain spirit that another person don't deal with. You understand that? Does that mean we have to be enemies? Does that mean we have to literally be strangers for the rest of our life? No. No. It don't mean that. All right? There's always a space of companionship between two peoples. And that's beautiful because, real quick, before I go to the next precept, that's beautiful because somebody that lives the life of an introvert or somebody that lives the life of being lonely. I mean, everybody is not you. Everybody is not high and mighty like you, man. Some people deal with things mentally. Some people deal with things socially. When it comes to their social life, they're not able to put themselves out there like other people. They're not able to have communications like other people. So a person that does live a so-called introverted lifestyle, you understand that is beautiful because when you come to the knowledge of the Lord, I can never defraud you of anything that you don't have. And I should expect the same respect back. If you like anime and other stuff, and I like sports and other stuff, that doesn't mean we have to be strangers, man. And really, when you get into it, that's how enmity and strife is built up within your own nation and with your own brothers and sisters. Because you look at them like they have nothing to do with you. And like I said earlier, that's pride. Right? Just because whoever, just because you like something that I don't like doesn't mean what I like is better, and that means you're an outcast or you're weird, all right? And this might be something that's commonly known for some people, but this still has to be something that's touched on because it falls under the umbrella of having fake friends and fake love, man. Fake friends and fake love, because then people are put on a mask. They put on a mask and say, "Oh, that's what you went to? Oh yeah, because I used to do that a couple years ago." And then you say, "Oh really? But what happened with X, Y, Z?" And they be like, "Nah, I don't know, man. That was wild." They just lied, right? And that's enmity and strife, and that makes it worse, man. That makes it worse, all right? That's when fake friends and fake love come into play, right? When you can't exercise these things that we're talking about. Now, what you will rather do is to consider. So instead of living like everybody that's into something that you're not into is an outcast, you would rather consider other people's lives better than your own. As it tells you in Philippians, the second chapter. Philippians, the second chapter tells you, hey, consider other men's lives more than your own. As a friend, I'm going to consider how you feeling before I consider how I'm feeling. Because how I treat you is going to be based off of what you give me. And I will respect that same respect back. And that's equal, right? Versus right? Versus if I'm always worried about, yeah, I'm feeling like this, so I'm gonna go ahead and treat you like this. But guess what? He feeling like that, so he's gonna go treat you like that. That's gonna be uneven. Because I could always be feeling good, but you can always be feeling bad. And then that'll leave a what? That'll lead to a negative connotation toward this brother. And a positive contribution, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I always feel like I'm getting help, and you'll feel like you're never getting help. That's why you always gotta esteem other people more than your own and understand that none of us are perfect. Now, that's why you want to consider. So let's go to First Maccabees chapter 12 and verse 9. First Maccabees chapter 12 and verse 9 says, therefore we also, albeit we need none of those things, that we have the holy books of scripture in our hands to comfort us, have nevertheless attempted to send unto you for the renewing of brotherhood and friendship, lest we should become strangers unto you altogether. For there is a long time past since ye sent unto us. Right. So, like I said, that confirms my statement being true. The word of the Lord saying it verbatim. I said, let's read it again. First Maccabees 12 and 10 says, have nevertheless attempted to send unto you for the renewing of brotherhood and friendship, lest we should become strangers unto you altogether. For there is a long time past since ye sent unto us. Right? So, boom, if there's a long time past when we were friends, or we used to be friends back in the day, or we used to get along with something back in the day, but it's been a long time past. Guess what? I'm going to try to renew that friendship, or I'm going to try to touch bases on things that we can agree on today before we could just become strangers and it just was what it was. That's what they do in the world, right? The people you go to high school with, they look at you like you don't know them. Why? Yeah, I'm a different person that I've grown and I'm somewhere else now. But if you actually have a conversation with me, or we can actually continue on the basis that we left off of, if it's positive, because you have to implement forgiveness. If it's positive, and we can leave off on the basis that we can pick up on the basis that we left off at, maybe we can think about and talk about things that we agree on today. Oh, you still like football, brother? Oh yeah, me too. What you think about the Seahawks? Oh yeah, we nice this year. You Ravens suck. Whatever it may be, you can pick up on that. And guess what? That can lead to this conversation about the scriptures too, man. You understand what I'm saying? It's better off that you touch bases on things that you agree on better than things that you disagree on. Right? And this is how to be a good friend, man. And not how to be a fake friend. A fake friend, he gonna look at you like, oh yeah, that's you I went to high school with. And never consider you again and walk and dip off. That's you I went to high school with. That's what he on nowadays. Damn, man. Niggas be bluffing for real, man. That's what a fake friend would do. That's what fake love is, man. I got love for all my brothers and sisters, whether we talk every day or not. It's love in my heart for you. So guess what? Just because I may have met you once doesn't mean when I meet you again, we're going to have that same interaction. If I met you once, every time we meet is going to be a build to somewhere. Why? Because when we meet and when we do talk, we touch bases on things that we agree on. If we touch bases on things that we disagree on, It's not gonna be leading to an argument. It's not gonna be leading to something that's gonna cause strife. That's like if I like this thing or you like this thing, we can compare it and have fun comparing it. And now when I think of it, I'll be like, oh yeah, that brother like Xbox, man. I'm with the PS gang, man. Whatever. It's not gonna be like, oh damn, nah, he like smoking weed, man. I can't do no damn smoke. No, brother, no. I'm not gonna have that mental cognition of you 24/7. That's just how I know you. It's not gonna happen. That's fake love and that's a fake friendship. Because if I did disagree with you so much, I would spend that time thinking about how I can help you, or I would spend that time thinking about how we could have agreed on something else that we could have worked with. All right, but let's read on. In First Maccabees chapter 12 and verse number 11, it says, "We therefore at all times without ceasing, both in our feasts and other convenient days, do remember you and the sacrifices we offer, and in our prayers, as reason is, as it becometh us to think upon your brethren." Right. So it's good to remember brothers and sisters when you're doing good. When you're doing good and you're in the spirit and you got some, you might have a couple of dollars, or you might be throwing up prayers, or you got some you're fasting or whatever it may be. It's always good to incorporate your friends or your companions or your comrades or whatever it may be. It may not be a close friend that you're incorporating to help when you're up. Not be. You could have been on. I had that done to me before, brother. I don't know this brother from a can of paint. Just text my phone every couple of while. Brother sent me like $50. Say, hey man, I'll praise to the Most High, man. Take care of it. And guess what? I had to put that joint in my gas tank, and it helped out a lot, man. Right? That's love right there. That's companionship. Right? A companionship is not that far from a friendship, but they're not the same thing. Right? You understand that? Just like a brother and a friend is not the same thing, right? It's a difference, but that doesn't mean it's differently off, right? So like I keep losing my spot on the apocrypha, uh, but reading on the First Maccabees chapter 12 verse 13, um, verse 12, it says, "And we are right glad of your honor. As for ourselves, we have had great troubles and wars on every side, for so much as the king that are round about us have fought against us," man. So guess what? Something else that you got to consider in your friendship or your relationship or whatever it may be is that everybody's going through war right now. Everybody going through something. Some brothers more than others, man. You understand? Everybody's going through something, and it's not always easy, and it's most of the time hard, right? We all going through war on every side, trouble on every side. Now, you have a man named Thomas, who is also called Didymus. Right? Who is that? The friend of the Lord Yahushua. Right? He's considered the friend of Yahushua. John chapter 11 and verse 8. Right, let's go to the book of John chapter 11 and verse 8. It says, his disciples saying to him, Master, the Jews of late sought to stone thee, and goest thou thither again? So this is when Yahushua was about to be hung on the cross and everything like that. And he's about to go into a place where he almost got put to death before. He's about to go into a place where they tried to stone him before. And Thomas is like, hold on, you trying to go back over here? What's going on, man? You sure you want to do that? All right, and let's see what he said. Yahushua answered, are there not 12 hours in the day? If any man walk in the day, he stumbleth not, because he seeth the light of this world. So guess what? And this is where that fake love and that fake friendship come in, man. Most people during the daytime, they know where they're going. They know what to expect from certain people because it's daytime. It's other people around them. They know what's going on, right? It says it's 12 hours in the day. It says he said it's 12 hours in a day. If any man walk in the day, he's not going to stumble because he seeth the light of this world. Right, so it's 12 hours in the day. So during the daytime, I know what's going on in the world. I know what's to be expected. There's something called a societal norm, right? It's something called a social norm, right? Let's actually pull it up, right? A social norm. It's 12 hours in the day, and when you walking in the day, you're not going to stumble. Let's pull it up, a social norm. Right, let's pull this up. This is what Yahushua was speaking on. There's certain social norms that people just cleave after and follow after like rabbits. All right, people just follow trends. All right, so it says social norms are typically defined as rules and standards. So, like it says rules and standards that are understood by members of a group. All right, it says rules and standards that are understood by members of a group and that guide or constrain social behaviors without without the force of law, right? So a social norm is a certain behaviors that are influenced by people, right? That the society normally follows, right? Let's look at this. It says, what are societal norm examples? Societal norms are unwritten rules of behavior shared by members of a given group or societal. Examples of the Western culture include all hell better break loose. Forming a line at store counters. That's something small. Saying bless you when someone sneezes. Because where's that at? Where's that at in the scriptures? Right? That's just a societal norm, right? Right. Even though they do get it from the scriptures. Right. It says, or holding the door to someone entering the building right after you. Right. That's a very, very very broad. Very broad. Right. So it's giving broad stuff. See, greeting people when you see them, thank you, holding the door, standing up when someone else enters the room. That's coming from the scriptures. It says offering to help someone carry something heavy, coming from the scriptures, speak quietly in public places, walking in politely, whatever. Right? But when you get into it, if you don't act like this, yeah, it's a cast off. Right? You're like weird. You're weird. And that's what your house is about to get into in the next part. Right? But if and guess what? It's Shalom King. If I'm different, if I'm moving different from what the world perceives it as, that's what Yahushua is about to get into. But the world, Yahushua is speaking on the John 11 and 9 about how there's a societal norm. Right? Meaning when you walk in the day, you know what to expect. You're not going to stumble. Men that's weak in their faith, you're not going to stumble during the day. You got your fringes on, you acting real mighty, you got your Israelite cape on, everything is all good. A lot of men do that, man. You walking in the day, you understand because the world, he understands what's coming with the world. And then it says, verse 10, but if a man walk in the night, he stumbleth because there's no light in him. Right? So, like it's saying, the world, man, it got to be in you, not on you. It got to be in you, not on you. Right? That righteousness got to be in you, not on you. So Yahushua, he wasn't scared to go into this place where he almost got put to death before because he understood the men and women there, they're not really with it for real. He understood the women there, the men and women there, they wasn't really doing it because they really wanted to kill him. They were doing it because that was the societal norm. Remember, the world hated the Lord. Therefore, the world hates us. You understand that? The world hated the Lord, therefore the world hated us. Right? But what did Thomas say? Thomas was asking them, you sure you want to do that? Right? Because Thomas was a good friend. Thomas was looking out for the welfare of his life. Yahushua's response, of course, that's going to be on a different level. But a true friend, he's going to say, hey, are you sure you want to do that? He's going to sometimes question your answers, your actions. Right? That's taking a step beyond the basics of truth. The basic of the truth is that, okay, boom, right? Yeah, I'm about to do this, and I know that, this precept justifies me doing it, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm not in sin. But guess what? Your friend understand 1 Corinthians 10 and 23. Everything is not expedient. So your true friend, he might ask you, I don't know, man. I don't know if you really want to do that. You understand? That's what your true friend is going to do, man. Right? And that's what Thomas did with Yahushua. Thomas also called Didymus, right? Let's get another example in John 14 and 5. John chapter 14. Let's start at verse number 5, right? John chapter 14, verse 5. It says, Thomas said unto him, Lord, we know not whither thou goest, and how can we know the way? Right, so matter of fact, let me start at verse number Let me start at John 13 and verse number 37. No, verse 36. I'm going to start at John 13 and 36 and read on down. John 13 and 36. Simon Peter, right? It says, Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, whither thou goest thou? Yahweh shall answer, Whither I go, thou canst not follow me now, but thou shalt follow me afterwards. Peter said unto him, Lord, why can I not follow thee now? I will lay down my life for thy sake. Yahweh shall answer him, Well, thou lay down thy life for my sake. Verily, verily, I say unto thee, the cock shall crow till thou deny me thrice. Right? Yahweh shall went up to go duck off and pray. Peter wanted to go with him. Yahweh shall told him, can't come. Peter like, man, I'm coming with you, man. I'm coming with you. I'm out for you. Yahweh shall rebuke me. John 14 and 1. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in God, believe also in me. At my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself. Where I am, there ye may be also. And whither I go, ye know. And the way ye know. So you're going to know the way. This is all Yahweh Shah said. He said, it's like he promising the kingdom. It's like I'm teaching to y'all about the kingdom. I'm saying, listen, the kingdom of heaven, man, it's going to be great. We're going to go up there, and we're going to go up there, and we're going to sprint, and then we're going to come down, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And y'all like, oh, how? Wait, what do you mean? How are we going to do that, right? It was very general, right? And then verse 5, Thomas said unto him, Lord, we know not whither thou goest, and how can we know the way? Right, so that's reassurance right there. Right now, this is the Lord. We know that. But that's like me asking the brother Slim D. Brother Slim D say, listen, man, I'm about to throw up these 10 prayers, and I'm going on fast for 4 days. And I'm saying, well, hold on. I know you want to be mighty and all, but you sure you don't need this and X, Y, Z? Like, what's going on? How you really going to do that? You need me to do it with you? That's the kind of question Thomas is asking. That's a true friend, man. I'm not going to let my brother go and do anything. And if I got a question in my head, like, I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. A fake friend, he going to be like, nah, yeah, whatever. It's mighty. Yeah, it's real mighty. Yeah, real mighty. Yeah. That's what a fake friend going to do, man. Right? If I say, brother, I'm about to fast for 7 days straight, and then the week after that, I might fast for an extra 3 days. A fake friend going to be like, oh, man, yeah, that's crazy. But whole time, my real friend going to be like, I don't know, man. You know, fasting is serious. You can't kind of vow to the Most High that you're going to fast, and you don't do that thing. I don't know if you should do that. That's a true friend, man. I say something very generally, or I try to plan something out very generally, and then guess what? My friend, he gonna check that thing and make sure I actually go through with my plans. Or a true friend is gonna make sure you go through with your plans, man. You gotta check that. If I say I'm gonna do a video series, I'm gonna make a video every day for 30 days. I go 5 days straight without making a video. A fake friend, he was never paying attention in the first place. He was never paying attention first, but he give a damn, right? He's gonna wait for you to bring it up, all right? Or he might ask you after day 20. It's day 20. He like, oh, how that challenge been going, brother? It's been 20 days. I've been catching hell, right? That's a fake friend right there, man. That'll actually weigh down on somebody's spirit, right? That'll actually hurt somebody, man. If you can't understand that somebody's not there for you, that'll actually hurt somebody. So Thomas, he's saying, okay, yeah, we know you're gonna go there, but like, how you gonna do it? Like, can we make sure that you okay? Can we make sure that this is being executed? Right? I know we gotta go out to camp and we got a whole camp, but brother, how who gonna get the posters? Who gonna do this? Who gonna do that? We gotta make sure we doing it right. If me and Slim D going to camp, we gonna say, all right, we going to camp. I'm gonna say, oh, hold on, well, where's the posters? Or how many Bibles you got? Or what we gonna wear? Or who gonna hold the camera? Or who gonna light the incense? You understand what I'm saying? Right? Right. Damn, email keep popping up. Right? That's what a true friend is gonna do. Make sure everything is in order. Right? Now Thomas saith unto him, Lord, we know not whither thou goest, and how can we know the way? Yahweh saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me, man. And that was Yahweh's response. But the focus was on Thomas questioning him of reinsurance, man. Thomas questioning him of reinsurance. Let's go to Matthew 7 and 24. Matthew chapter 7 and verse number 24. Matthew chapter 7 and verse 24 to verse 27. Matthew 7 and 24. And behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, insomuch that the ship was covered with the waves, but he was asleep. And his disciples came to him and awoke him, saying, Lord, save us, we perish. Meaning, remember, who was the Lord's disciples? You got, that's Matthew 10 and 3. Thomas is one of the Lord's disciples, right? Verse number 26. It says, and he said unto them, why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith? Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. But the men marveled, saying, what manner of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him? And when he was come to the other side into the country of Gershnes, there met him two possessed with devils coming out of the tombs, exceeding fierce, so that no man might pass by. All right, and this is not what I wanted. It's not what I wanted, Salaki. That's because I'm in the wrong chapter. Salaki, see, I called up the wrong chapter. I read the wrong chapter. It's Matthew 7 and 24. I'm in Matthew 8. My bad. That's my bad. I wanted Matthew 7 and 24. Salaki. Matthew chapter 7 and verse number 24. Right? It says, therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine, right? Whosoever, hold on. Right? Right, Matthew chapter 7 and verse 24. It says, whoso heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which is built upon a house. Which has built his house upon a rock. I'm gonna read that again. So it says, therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which hath built his house upon a rock. Right. So like we started off this breakdown with in Sirach 6 and 17, a wise man is gonna guide his friendship uprightly. Right. A man that fears the Lord is gonna have a righteous friendship. Right. So when you take heed to these things that Yahushua said, that friendship is like he built the house upon a rock. And when you read on this, if you don't, otherwise it's confusion. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 12 and 10. Otherwise it's confusion, man. If you have a friendship, and remember, like I said, I'm going to say it again, a brother is different than a friendship, man. You are my brother by default because you're an Israelite. By default. You're just my brother. And this is different from the world. This is backward from the world. You're my brother, you're my sister by default. But does that mean you're my friend? No. So when it comes to a friendship, you have to build it up off the words of the Lord. You have to build it up off the law, statutes, and commandments. When you don't, without, it's confusion. Right? Let me get that precept in 1 Corinthians 12 and 10, right? 12 and 20, I mean. 1 Corinthians 12 and 20 says, but now, hold on. 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse number 20. It says, but now are they many members, but yet one body. It's 2 Corinthians. It's 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse number 20. 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 20 says, for I fear, lest when I come, I should not find you such as I would, and that I shall be found unto you such as ye would not. There be debates, envyings, wraths, strifes, backbitings, whisperings, swellings, and tumults, man. Right? So these things are going to happen in their friendship. First of all, because we laid the foundation of nobody being perfect, you understand that? There's going to be certain arts that you have with your brothers. Nobody is perfect. So you're not going to agree with every single last thing or every single last thing that your brother says or does. It's not going to happen. Nobody's perfect. So when these things do happen, you understand that you move with the words of the Lord because it's built upon a rock, right? Your solid foundation is that rock of Yahushua, right? But when it's not, it's built upon sand. That's when you have debates, envyings, wraths, tumults, and all those other things. And it's just out of order. If your friendship is not based off of the precepts of the Lord, your friendship is out of order, man. Right? Because you might have a friend and you neglect the love of that brother. You neglect to show reverence to that brother. You neglect to show respect to that brother. That then forces that brother to self-reflect. Right. So here it is. I'm self-reflecting. Why he didn't do this, man? Why is this going on? Man, he did this, man. It's making me mad. And that leads to what? Envyings. Right? And that leads to what? An evil suspicion. Right. So as soon as you start going off, as soon as you start to not show your brother love, you start to not show your brother gratitude or whatever it may be, that leads to evil suspicions, man. Because when that brother goes to look for a resource, when that brother goes to look for a solution as to why as though you're acting like this or why as though this is going on, or when he tries to actually solve a matter, the scriptures say a spiritual man judge of all things. So he goes to judge his matter, he's not going to get it. That forces him to self-respect, self-reflect. That forces him to come up with an evil suspicion. That forces him to come up with envy. Right? This brother, man, he did this to me, and I don't know why he did that. That shouldn't make no sense, man. That should get on my nerves. That's envy. Right? That's what's gonna happen from that. Right? When you're not doing something based upon the precepts. Right? Now let's go to Proverbs 17 and 17. Right? Now let's really go into these precepts or what a fake friend is, man. Proverbs chapter 17, verse 17. It says, a friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. Right? So a friend, and this is backward of what I said. This is backward of what I said. Because matter of fact, before I get this, let me get that precept of our friends taking closer to me. Right, in Proverbs 18 and 24. I'm gonna go to Proverbs 18 and 24, and then I'm gonna come back to this, right? Proverbs chapter 18 and verse number 24. It says, a man that hath friends must shew himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. That's basically what I said, because you always have a brother, which is guaranteed, right? But a friend is not. Two different things. You're my brother by default, but you're not my friend by default. Now let's go back to Proverbs 17 and 17. It says that it says, a friend loveth at all times. So somebody that just want to be your friend, somebody that just want to shoot themselves friendly, they always gonna be around you. They always gonna have nothing but positivity to say to you. Like literally. This literally happened to me. I'm not gonna say the brother name. I'm talking to her brother, right? And we chop. I cannot make this up. We chopping it up, right? And I tell the brother, he asked me what I've been reading. I say, okay, I've been reading Second Esdras. Really, that's all I've been reading this week because I haven't been having time to read other stuff because my schedule is so busy. I've been stressed out this week. That's what I said. In return, he says, oh, yeah, that's mighty. Second Esdras is mighty. That's what's up, King. And then without me asking, he said, okay, yeah, I've been reading this. I've been reading this. And I've been reading. I'm not making this up. I've been reading this. I've been reading this. And I've been reading this, man. This is mighty. You always got to make time for you to read. And after his long rant, this is what he ends the conversation with. He says, you really want to take time. You really want to take advantage of all that time that you got to read. And I was like, did I not just tell his brother I don't have time to read? I said, you asked me a question and I responded. And then you went on a tangent and you ended that tangent as if I just said nothing in that conversation. When I tell you that conversation was so unfruitful, and I learned a lot from that, man. I learned a lot from that. The Lord said, you're going to know men by wisdom is in the tongue. You know men by their fruits. So if I have a conversation, I mean, you only asking me what I've been reading or how am I doing to seek the welfare, right? Because you're showing yourself what? You're just showing yourself friendly. You get on the phone with a brother, yeah, man, how you doing? Whatever. You're just showing yourself friendly. What if I ask you how you doing and then you turn around and you say, man, I ain't gonna lie, I haven't been doing too great. And you just say, all right, well, brother, you gotta endure it. Man. I just called to see how you was, man. Shalom. What is that? Right? That's a fake friend right there, man. That's why it says Proverbs 17 and 17, a friend loveth at all times. He's always going to show himself friendly. Right? But on the right-hand side, a friend is always going to love at all times. If I'm your friend, guess what? I'm going to love you at all times, man. I'm going to actually always show you love. All right? Indeed. I'm going to always show you love. That's on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, a friend, he always going to be, Brother, you're so mighty. You're so mighty. Love you, brother. Shalom. Right? He always just gotta show himself friendly, man. Right? But verse 17 says, and a brother is born for adversity, right? And a brother is born for adversity, which is an attribute of a friendship. But guess what? A brother, an actual brother, is born for adversity. Like I said, you're my brother by default because you're Israel. Right? But an actual brother is born for adversity. You understand that? Let's get another precept because I gotta close out this video soon. Right? In the book of Ruth, chapter 1 and verse number 16. The book of Ruth, chapter 1 and verse number 16. Right? It reads, select. Ruth chapter 1 verse 16. It says, and Ruth said, entreat me not to leave thee. It says, and Ruth said, entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go, and whither thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God. And that's a cut to people that's in the world, right? That's a cut to people that's in the world. You understand that? They say, oh yeah, you're my brother, man. I know we used to get down together back in the day, man. I love you, man. Keep doing. They always say that. Keep doing what you're doing. Right? Keep doing what you're doing, man. I love it, man. Right? But guess what? A true friendship, your God is gonna be my God. I'm gonna read that again. I didn't mean to drop it. I'm gonna read it again. Right? Verse said, hey, guess what? Your God is gonna be my God. I mean, guess what? You keeping these commandments, I'm actually gonna keep these commandments with you, man. You're not gonna be by yourself. Right? That's what a true friend is, man. If you see me striving and keep, trying my best, even though I fall short, and I'm just trying my best, man. If I'm trying my best and keeping the commandments, you should be doing the same thing, man. That's a true friend. Here it is. I'm trying my best. Let's say I'm battling the spiritual demon of slothfulness. I'm dealing with slothfulness, but I'm trying my best to overcome. But here it is. You got another brother. He like, hold on, where this shit at? He's sitting back, right, getting high. Tell me, yeah, bro, you gotta keep it doing. I know you want to battle that shit. But you gotta go ahead, go ahead, do it, bro. And then he take another toke. That ain't friendship, man. That ain't friendship. You don't care about what I'm doing, right? Because if I'm actually going through something and I explain it to you, in order for you to actually come up with a constructive response on how to help myself, you gotta know what it feel like, right? Versus if a brother, let's say a brother call me and he say, man, I've been dealing with my wife, and I don't know, man, she is wicked, man. I don't know what to do. If I'm single, I'm gonna say, well, brother, yeah, I don't know how it is being with the woman in the truth, but back in the world, I'd have probably did this when I was dealing with women back then, but I know it's different for us, so I don't really go through. I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. Be honest with me. If you don't know how I feel, don't explain to me you know how I feel, man. All right, and this is a vent session that we gotta have as men, because it is fake friends in this damn truth, man. That's why this page is called Sincerely Israel, right? You on the phone with me, I'm gonna give you my sincere time. If I answer the phone, I mean I'm willing to give you my time. If I don't want to give you my time, I'm not gonna answer the phone, right? If I'm hearing you out in a matter, if I actually want to hear you out, I'm gonna hear you out, man. If I don't want to hear you out, brother, I'm gonna talk to you later. That's a true friend right there, man. Without it's confusion. Like I said earlier, without it's backbeats. Without it's backbiting. Without it's debates. Without it's swellings. Without it's envyings. And all of those other things. Right? So Ruth said, hey, guess what? Your God is gonna be my God. You understand that? And guess what? Where you go, I'm gonna go. And that's Ruth the Moabite. And she actually know how to be a good friend. You understand what I'm saying? Right? I'm getting to the precept. Oh, let's go to the etymology of the word friend since we had it. Let's go to the etymology of the word friend. Salaki, we gotta pull this up because I had deleted it. Salaki, I'm gonna pull it up real fast. In the meantime, let me read brother's comments. Brother Slim C posted a precept said, but if any hath bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not, and lie not against the truth. The wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish, right? Because if you got heart, if you got that envy in your heart, you can't glory in that. And guess what they do to the world? I got envy. If I got envy for you in my heart in the world, and guess what? I'm glorifying it. They say I don't mess with yo, man. Yo was a whore, right? They say I don't mess with yo. I don't get down with yo. Like, man, I ain't, man. What? I'd do anything to yo. That's what they say in the world, and they glorifying it. That's a cut. Hey, man, low key, this live stream is a cut to people in the world, man. Why? Because people in the world don't actually understand what it means to have the love of Christ in their heart. I see that. You think I'm a Christian, right? I got the love of Christ in my heart, brother. A lot of brothers go like, man, here you go again. Oh man, here you go with that Christian. No, brother. I really got that love of Christ in my heart. I love my brothers and I love my sister. All right. A lot people in the world don't. I mean, it might sound crazy, but people in the world don't just get that. That ain't something that just imputed to everybody, right? Just like the Holy Spirit is imputed into select few people, and guess what? That spirit of love is imputed to select few people, right? Straight up and down, man. So this is a cut to a lot of people in the world. So this is the etymology of the word friend, right? I believe that's what I wanted. Slucky, let me see. Right, the etymology of the word friend. Right, let's get into it. Right, so Old English, it says one attached to another by feeling of personal regard and preference. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, you're gonna. I mean, realistically and like thinking reality wise, your friend is gonna be somebody that you have a personal connection with. Meaning, like, if I get down with soccer, my friend is gonna get down with soccer. If I get down with shooting guns, my friend's gonna get down with shooting guns in righteousness. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever it may be, that's how it's gonna go. But remember, when it comes to the scripture, man, I'm gonna say this again for the brothers that may not have caught this at the beginning of the live. Just because there's a difference in between me and you doesn't mean we can't overlook it, because I would rather choose to take advantage of an opportunity of companionship before we're strangers and not a friendship. Meaning what? If you like soccer and I like basketball, I can find out certain things about soccer that I like, and you can find out certain things about basketball that I like. Therefore, we can have a companionship. Versus you like soccer, okay, and I just leave it alone. Therefore, we're strangers, right? We're not enemies or nothing like that. We're just strangers, man. Right? We're just strangers. Right? I don't want to be a stranger with my fellow children of Israel, because that's not really love for your nation. You follow? Right? And that was First Maccabees 12 of why we got through that. Right? It says, right, it says lover, a friend. Hey, guess what? My brothers is my lovers, man. My lovers for life, right? Right, you know, in righteousness, of course. Right, but that's it on that. Right, it says one attached to another by feelings of personal regard. It says and preference, right? So that's the etymology of a friend, right? Somebody that you choose to show personal regard with, and things like that. Right, the brother Greg asks, why do different camps celebrate our holy days on a different day, but they still teach the word of God? Right, we're gonna get into that in a second. Let me finish this breakdown about brotherly love. That's kind of throwing me off a different topic. But let's read on. I got a different precept in the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, and verse number 24. Right, Proverbs, chapter 22, and verse number 24. Right, Proverbs 22 and 24. It says, make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man thou shalt not go. Right? Because based off of that etymology, your friend is going to be somebody that you show personal interest with. Right? So you're not going to make a friendship with evilness. Let's go to that in James 4. Let's go to that in James 4 and 4. You're not going to make a friendship with something that you're not, I mean, like, this is something that needs to be applied to brothers and sisters. I'm not going to go and make friendship with a stoner. I'm not gonna do that, right? Because I know I'm not supposed to be a stoner. I'm not gonna go and make a friendship with an angry man. Every time he sees opportunity, he just yelling at somebody, right? He trying to flip out. He trying to he clenching, all of that other stuff, man. Like, you don't want to go and make a friendship with that man, because remember the scriptures also say you don't want to be in alliance with someone. You don't want to be a friend with somebody that has the power to kill. Roughly paraphrasing the book of Sirach. Right? But let's read this in James 4:4. It says, "Ye adulterers and adulteress, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore be a friend of the world is an enemy of God." Right? So at the end of the day, you're not consciously gonna go and make a friendship with something that's just off. And I had to make that disclaimer for based off of what I just said. Just because you want to seek avenues just because you want to seek avenues to try to build a companionship, like I said, doesn't mean, okay, if this brother like smoking weed, or if this brother like watching porn, or if this brother like doing whatever is off, I'm gonna go and try to find out certain things about that we can do together so he can find out certain things about the truth. No. No, 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 no. No. Right? No, can't do that. No. Right? I can't find out certain things and then try to adapt it to myself to build a companionship on the wickedness. That's only in righteousness. Right? So let's go to a different precept at Sirach 22 and 19. Right? Sirach chapter 22 and verse number 19. Right? Sirach 22 and verse 19. It says, "He that pricketh the eye will make tears to fall, and he that pricketh the heart maketh it to shew her knowledge." Right? So if you prick the eye, you're gonna make tears fall. Right? So if the brother Yoel, if I poke this brother, right, back to back to back, what's he gonna do? He's like, man, come on, man. Before I jab your ass, all right? It's gonna cause a reaction. Right? Verse 20. It says, "Whoso casteth a stone at the birds, frayeth them away." If I got a stone and I throw it to a group of birds, they're gonna fly away, right? It's common sense, right? Yeah. Right? You might look at me like, yeah, so what's the point, right? But watch this. "And he that upbraideth his friend breaketh friendship." Just the same way that was just as common and like duh. The same way, okay, boom. If I say something that I know you're not gonna like, or if I say something that's not kind, if I say something that's not true to you, that's gonna break our friendship, man. Duh. Right? And if me and another brother is friends, and I say to that brother, man, I really don't fuck with you like that, you get on my nerves. That's off. Guess what? That's gonna break the friendship. Right? That's gonna cause disruptions in the friendship, right? And part of my language. You follow? Right? It's gonna upbraid the friendship. So the same way you cause and poke issues in something is gonna, like, if you rub your eye, it's gonna get red. Or if you rub your eye, it's gonna your tears might come out. Or if you messing with your nose too much, you might start bleeding. Or if you throw a stone in the midst of birds, it's gonna start, they're gonna fly away. The same reason why you might have a falling out with a brother is because something that you did or something that that brother did. That's how it goes. Verse 21. It says, "Though thou drawest a sword thy friend, yet despair not, for there may be a returning of to favor." So even though that's why I said is when is a breaking up of a friendship. Because my brother might do something off and I whip out the sword. Shink. Right? But there might be a return of a favor because he might actually enjoy that thing. Because remember the scripture saying in Sirach 20, if I'm not mistaken, there's a reproof that's not comely. Right? So sometimes when you do pull out that sword on your friend, or when you do pull out that harsh rebuke, or when you do rebuke your friend like you're supposed to, right? Sometimes you might get a what does it say? A returning of a favor for that. I mean, you might give a thank you, or you might get that same thing back to you. Because when I go off, I need somebody to rebuke me. Right? When somebody else go off, I'm going to rebuke them as your friend. Right? And that's keeping the law. That's the law right there. You see how all of these things is based off the law. The law say what? Rebuke your neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. And all go back to the law. Right? Verse 22. It says, "If thou hast opened thy mouth against thy friend, fear not, for there may be reconciliation, except for upbringing, or pride, or disclosing of secrets, or treacherous wound." It says, for these things, for every friend will depart. You understand that? So every friend will depart. Right, brothers be emotional instead of listening. That's facts. That's facts. It says, Every brother will depart if you're obviously dealing in pride, if you're obviously dealing in disclosing the secrets, if you're obviously dealing in treacherous wounds and things of that nature. Right? Every brother gonna depart for that, man. Right? I don't want to be a part. I don't want to be a part of that. You understand that? If you're obviously dealing in pride, why would I then be a friend? Because we just read how I'm commanded not to make friendship with sin. I'm commanded not to make friendship with things that I'm not supposed to be doing. Right? We just read that in Proverbs 22 and 24. All right. Verse 23. It says, be faithful to thy neighbor in his poverty, that thou rejoice in his prosperity. Guess what, man? My brother down bad, he might be going through a couple things. You understand? And guess what? I'm gonna be happy when he prospers. Because I watch him go from there to there. Right? I mean, we Jake, man. He the salt of the earth. If I'm down bad, and my brother been with me here from the jump, and guess what? He gonna get something in return. You understand what I'm saying? I went from $100 to $100,000 or whatever it may be. Well, I went from not knowing how to pray and read to teaching on the highways and byways. That brother's gonna get something in response to that, right? That's charity. And the scriptures talk about charity how much? Right? So it's always good to be faithful to your friend. And guess what? What's a fake friend gonna do? Brother come to you 3 times a week. Yeah, man, I ain't been praying, man. I ain't pray all day today. Next day. Yeah, I ain't pray all day today, man. I don't know what's going on. Next day. Bro, I don't know why. I just can't. I don't know what's going on. I haven't prayed in like 2 weeks. The 3rd week come up. Hey, brother, you been praying today? Yeah, man, I threw up 7 prayers a day. Next day, hey, brother, you been praying today? I threw up 14 prayers a day. Next prayer. Next day, hey, brother, you been praying today? I threw up 21 prayers. That's because that's like you holding your brother. Brother, you gotta hold your brothers down, man. Brother, you gotta hold your brothers down. All we got in this truth. A fake friend, he gonna be like, oh, he ain't been praying. Man, I told him already. I'm not ready to keep telling him. I'm not ready to keep telling him what to do, man. I'm not going for that, man. That's a fake friend. Rather to be long suffering. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Why are you neglecting your brother? What else do you have? What else do you have? What else did Yahushua have? Yahushua was on this earth for you. And what if he was like, oh, man, fuck these niggas. I'm gonna go hit the strip club, man. Deal with one of these Roman biddies. One of these Roman biddies. Man, go give me one of these Roman biddies, man. Forget the nation of Israel. Then what? All right? Yahushua show love on the church. That's how much love you gotta show to your brother. Which is a part of those duties that's almost impossible because Yahushua is on another level. The point is that's that image, and that's that stature we gotta look on, man. Man, I'm trying to show love to all my brothers. But at the same time, I'm not a fool. Right? Just because I'm teaching the Bible doesn't mean I'm a fool. I won't be taken advantage of because that goes against the scriptures. The scriptures tell me not what to be a friend of. The scriptures tell me not what to go down for and what to not go down for, man. Right? But let's read on. It says, abide steadfast unto him in the time of his trouble, that thou mayest be heir with him in his heritage. Like I said, for a mean estate is not always to be condemned, nor the rich that is foolish to be had in admiration. As the vapor of smoke of a furnace goeth before the fire, so revealing before blood. I will not be ashamed to defend a friend, neither will I hide myself from him. And if any evil happen unto me by him, everyone that heareth it, beware of him. Right? So me and you was big friends. Me and you was cool friends. Right? You did me wrong. Everybody's gonna hear about it. Like, yo, what you doing? Right? That's supposed to be your guy. That's supposed to be your friend right there. That's supposed to be your brother. What you doing, man? All right? Everybody's gonna beware him. Right? 27. It says, who shall set a watch before my mouth and a seal of wisdom before my lips, that I may not suddenly by them, and so like it said, that I fall not suddenly by them, and that my tongue destroy me not, man. Because that's what's going to destroy your friendship. It's your tongue and it's your speech. Your tongue and your speech is what's really going to destroy your friendship. Right? You keep saying stuff. Your tongue and your speech is what's going to destroy your marriage. Shalom, shalom. Your tongue and your speech is what's going to destroy your marriage. Right? You keep speaking evil things to your wife. You just keep making her mad on purpose. You just keep being an asshole. You just keep being a butt. You just keep being a butt. You keep being a butt to your wife, man. It's gonna destroy it. You keep talking bad about your brother every time you see him. Oh, brother got on that hat today, man. That shit falling, man. Every time, it's gonna end up destroying it. It's gonna make it weak, right? Your tongue is what's gonna destroy it most of the time. Hey, Sirach 22 and 19 on down is mighty when it comes to those friendships, right? But I haven't done this precept. I gotta close out, right? Brothers might have to postpone that call just a little, right? Right. But I'm gonna wrap this up with this. Now, here are the accounts, right, of friendship in the Bible. Number one, we're gonna start with Abraham and Lot. Abraham and Lot. Let's go to Genesis 14 and 14. That's the spread. Open right to it. Genesis 14 and 14. It says, and when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants born in his house. 318 pursued them unto Dan. So guess what? A true friend, I hear my brother taken captive. It can be taken captive by a spiritual demon Satan. Spiritual demon Satan took my brother captive. And guess what? Got to do something quickly, right? My trained servant's got to go. And guess what? This trained servant got to go. And guess what? This trained servant got to go. And then my sidearm. Where my sidearm at? Where my sidearm at? Where's that? Oh, here you go. And then my sidearm, right? My sidearm got to go. All of these got to go. All my trained servants got to go. And then guess what? It might be somebody that took him captive that really want to get down. So that guy that took him captive, he really want to get down. And guess what? The Spanish Bible coming, right? This one coming. I can't see. There you go. Boom. Right? The Spanish Bible coming, right? So I got my two firearms and my side. My brother, guess what? My trained servants are coming, right? This brother's a trained servant. You follow what I'm saying? Right? Spanish joint, right? I gotta go get my brother, right? Because you never know what might take your brother captive. But a fake friend, on the other hand, hey, guess what? Hey, it is what it is, right? I learned through the scriptures that this spirit can hop on this spirit. So guess what? If I go and I help him out, that spirit might hop on me. Nah, man, forget that, brother, man. Leave him alone, right? What kind of love is that, man? That's fake love, and that's a fake friendship, right? That's Abraham a lot. Let me give one more precept on Abraham a lot. In Genesis 13 and 13 and verse 5, it says, and Lot also, which went with Abram, had flocks and herbs and herds and tents. So guess what? Just the same way Abram rich, he had all kinds of flocks, all kinds of tents, all kinds of herbs. Lot was having it too. Just like we got done talking about. Hey, guess what? I mean, if my brother having it, hey, guess what? I'm gonna have it in the end. That's that brotherly friendship. I mean, duh. I mean, if me and brother Yoel, or me and brother Yasha Allah, if we out and we eating, and I get me a double cheeseburger with extra cheese and everything I like on it, and I got the loaded fries, and I got the milkshake, and I got a whole dessert after that. And then the brother, he go up to order, and he's like, nah, I'm good. I ain't really having it like that. And I'm like, all right, it is what it is. Man, you missing out, yo. You can probably get a bite of mine for others. You get a bite of mine. That's off. That's off. Right? But go ahead and take something off your order to give it to that brother, man. Right? Right? If Abraham having it, Lot was having it. If I'm having it, guess what, brother? You gonna have it, man. This is how it goes. Right? Verse 6. It says, and the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together. For their substance was great, so that they could not dwell together. And there was a strife between the herdmen of Abram's cattle and the herdmen of Lot's cattle. And the Canaanite and the Perizzite dwelled then in the land. And matter of fact, you know what brothers gonna do? Brothers might not say, oh, well, it is what it is. Brothers are hide they fake friendship. And then act like they don't got it. They act like they don't got it. They'll do something. Brothers will be crafty to figure out some type of way to act like they don't got it. I can't come up with a scenario in my head, but that happens too, man. And brothers know when that shit happens, man. And the point of this video is to be knowledgeable of these things so we can move, stay away from it. The point of this video is to identify through the precepts what a real friendship looks like, and to identify through the precepts what a fake friendship and fake love looks like. That's the point of this video. Let's read on. Verse 8. And Abram said unto Lot, let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, and between my herdmen and thy herdmen, for we be brethren, man. Right? So it's not supposed to be no strife between us. We brothers. Right? So when something does go wrong in your friendship, you gotta know how to reconciliate these things with your brother. And say something like, man, it's not supposed to be no strife between us. Right? Let's actually have a godly conversation. I'm gonna speak and bring out some precepts, and you're gonna speak and bring out some precepts, and we're gonna get to a solution. Right? Now it's Abraham a lot. Next one, let's go to Jonathan and David. David and Jonathan. 1 Samuel chapter 18, and let's read verse 1. Right? 1 Samuel chapter 18 and verse number 1. Right? David and Jonathan. It says, and it came to pass when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. All right, so you're supposed to love your brother as your own soul, right? I know if I eat some unhealthy food, I might go work out a little bit. I might go do some push-ups. I might walk it off or whatever. I want to make sure my body is straight. Here it is, your brother. You didn't watch him gain 10 pounds, and you don't say nothing. You don't say nothing. You don't say nothing. You might say something like, damn, you've been getting fat. Now, brothers may not be that sensitive, but you know what I'm saying? You want to be able to look out for your brother as you look out for your own soul. And this is something that can always be applied. It's not something that's always applied right off the bat. I can apply this more and more, even though I know the precept. Y'all might know these precepts, but it can be applied more. So if you know you got to read today, but you ain't never check on your brothers to make sure they read today. You ain't never send a precept to your brothers to make sure they read today, man. Right? I know I got to study today, but I never made sure my friend, I never made sure my guy, I never made sure he been studying. Here it is. I've been on fire studying every day. I didn't call my friend out once this week to share. Me personally, it's like when I read and I find a precept that's just fire, I always send it to the bottom of group chat. I try my best to always send it to these brothers in the group chat, right? To the brother Yoel and the brother Greg. I try my best to always send it. Because it's like the Most High giving you wisdom and you just holding it, all right? Or it, it don't always got to be a precept. You can just be feeling good that day. You text the brothers, hey, good morning, fellas. Let's be productive today. Ain't nothing wrong with that, right? You might be having a good afternoon. Hey, all praise to the Most High. It's good weather outside. Brothers have a good day today. Brothers be safe. I mean, like, just something like that. I mean, in this captivity, man, brothers got school, brothers got work, brothers got families, brothers got all kinds of stuff that they're dealing with. Little things like that do help. And that's how you can better apply a precept like this when you loving your brother as yourself. You follow? That's how you can better apply it. You got to read today. Make sure you send the precepts to your brothers. You got to study today. Make sure you send the pictures of the breakdown to the brothers, man. You understand? Let's go to the next precept, and Jonathan and David at 1 Samuel 19 and 1 through 3. It says, and Saul spake to Jonathan, his son, and to all his servants that they should kill David. Right? So remember, Jonathan is Saul's son. Right? And Saul, he told Jonathan, he like, hey, we about to kill David. But Jonathan was like, right, but Jonathan, Saul's son, delighted much in David, meaning that's my friend right there. It says, and Jonathan told David, and guess what? Jonathan told David, right? Saying, Saul, my father seeketh to kill thee. Now therefore I pray thee, take heed to thyself until the morning, and abide in a secret place and hide thyself. Right? So guess what, brother? I've been seeing you've been dealing with this spirit. I think Satan trying to take you out. Brother, I think you should come spend the night on my it don't always gotta be that. But brother, I think you should resort to this. You should resort to this instead of that. You should resort to this, solution. You should resort to this solution to help you out to avoid it. Hey, David, Saul trying to kill your ass. brother, go hide yourself so he don't kill your ass. And what is David going? He gonna say, "Oh, praise to the Most High. That's my guy." Right? But a fake friend, he gonna see you dealing with that spirit. And shoot, since he a fake friend from the jump, he might go and deal with that same spirit and make you feel okay with it. Right? Here it is, you dealing with the spirit of lust, and your fake friend that's always already out the spirit because he is a fake friend. All right, he might say, "Oh, really you trying to go hit? What's the name?" It's not off where there's no law, there's no sin, brother. Knowing I'm dealing with the spiritual demon lust, right? That's what your fake friend gonna do. Fake love, he ain't gonna say nothing to you. He ain't gonna say nothing to you because he don't feel like reproving you. Because he don't feel like saying something. He don't feel like hearing your mouth. Right? When somebody's being reproved, you have to deal with their response. When somebody's being reproved seriously, it's not just a playful conversation. When I'm reproving you, it's like I'm expecting you to say something back because it's something that you're dealing with. Because men, our minds justify ourselves. So if I'm dealing with this spiritual demon lust and you see it and you say something to me, sometimes my first instinct and response is not always gonna be like, "Yeah, you right, brother." My response might be like, "Wait, what you mean? Why you say that?" It's not off. You got to be ready to give a response in that occasion, right? So sometimes brothers will feel like that. Brothers will feel like, "Nah, I don't feel like it. I don't want to destroy him. I'll let him rock." No, man. We gotta handle this thing, right? That's David and Jonathan. Also, David, like I said, I mentioned this earlier in the live stream. David was a friendly man. Now, David had Edomite friends. David had Moabite friends. David had Egyptian friends. A lot of people don't know that. Right? He had people that was cool with him. It's different till now because David was in the time in the land of peace. Right? Solomon's name means man of peace. David's son. David passed down an inheritance to Solomon of peace. David established peace for the nation of Israel. He didn't have to worry about his enemies running on top of him, which is different for us. Just throw that disclaimer out. But you got men like Abathar. Abathar, David's guy that was he showed respect to him, and it was cool, right? He's an Edomite, right? You got Naash, you got Ittai. He was just a stranger, and you got Haram, and he was the Egyptian dude. You know what I'm saying? So different people that David was cool with, he might have showed respect to him. You know what I'm saying? Even if they wasn't the nation of Israel. Why? Because it's okay to be a friendly dude. It's okay to be easygoing, right? You don't always gotta put on your ski mask with your damn black Air Force Ones. You know what I mean? Like it's cool to be a friendly dude. A brother might take advantage. A brother might try to take advantage of you. A brother might try to say something slick. A mother might try to try something on you. And guess what? That's when the spirit of Christ come in, and that spirit of forgiveness, right? And that spirit of actual love. Just because you do something off, don't mean I'm gonna go and choose a wrong avenue to go and deal with, right? Now we got Job. Job and his friends. Job had friends. Let's go to Job 2 and 11. Right? Job chapter 2 and verse 11. Right? Job chapter 2 and verse 11. It says, "Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves." Salaki, verse 11. That was verse 1. Verse 11. "Now when Job's three friends heard of all this evil that was come upon him, they came every one from his own place. Eliphaz the Temanite, and Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamathite, for they had made an appointment together to mourn with him and to comfort him." Right? So guess what? I expect my friends to be making appointments with me. Right? But let's make an appointment to go out and to have some fun. But let's make an appointment to go and study together. But let's make an appointment of a fast next week, tomorrow. But let's make an appointment so we can go on the fast together. Let's make an appointment so we can go hoop. Let's make an appointment so we can go hit the gym. Right? That's another attribute that your friend is going to do with you. He's going to make appointments with you, man. Right? Scripture said they had made an appointment for the morning with Job. Right? Brothers not getting down with that nowadays. I'm not making an appointment with you to fast. I text a brother, "Shalom, King. I'm trying to make an appointment to fast next week." Brother gonna look at me like, "What the hell?" Right? Brother just say, "Yeah, I'm trying to fast next week." You trying to hop in there or something like that. But the point is, you want to make appointments, right, to arrange them with your friendship. Right? That's what a true friendship is going to do. Right? Let's get to Elijah and Elisha. This one is mighty. I mean, imagine having a friendship of Elijah and Elisha. That's mighty. That's mighty. That's mighty. 3 times for completion. Elijah is mighty. Elisha, mighty. That's just mighty. Right? That's real mighty right there. Right? That's probably 7 times for completion. Right? 2 Kings, chapter 2 and verse 1. Right, about Elijah and Elisha. All right, it says 2 Kings 2 and 1. And it came to pass when the Lord would take up Elijah into heaven by a whirlwind, that Elijah went up with Elisha from Gilgal. All right, it says, and Elijah said unto Elisha, tarry here, I pray thee, for the Lord hath sent me to Bethel. And Elisha said unto him, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. So they went down to Bethel. Right? So guess what? Elisha wasn't leaving Elijah. Hey, guess what? If I was Elisha and Elijah was my friend, I ain't leaving his ass neither. Right? I ain't leaving that. I ain't leaving Elijah. Right? I'm not leaving Elijah. Elijah too mighty. You understand what I'm saying? But guess what? Even though he was in his prosperity, Elisha wasn't going to leave him. And you gotta best believe, I mean, even though this is not a possible thing, if Elijah was out the spirit, if Elijah was down, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna want to leave Elijah either. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna want to build Elijah up because I see the potential in that brother. Sometimes you gotta see the potential in your brother, man. Sometimes you have to do that. People say that about Kobe. Sometimes, or people say that about Jordan. Sometimes you gotta have people around you that see the potential in you, and that's very key too. If your friend, if your brother, he can't never point things out in you that you can strengthen, right? If your brother don't know the strength, the scriptures say what? Iron sharpeneth iron. If your brother, that friend, that iron, if he don't ever sharpen your iron, you gotta examine him, right? Right? If you low or if you high, you can be high in the spirit. You can be feeling good. Remember Proverbs 30:6, I have set on my prosperity, none will remove me. Right? I mean, it's like it. Psalm 30:6. I've set on my prosperity, none will remove me, right? You can be at your high, you can be at your point, right? But guess what? Your friend and your brother, he should still be able to see certain things, and you're like, yeah, you saying you high, but you really could be doing that too. And that's not me nitpicking. I can be low and you high, and I'm saying, oh yeah, you could really be doing that too. That's not off, right? Because that's not gonna do nothing but help me out. And then after you say that to me, my response to you is nothing but like, yeah. But that's why, that'll probably help you out. Right? So maybe yeah, maybe I can apply this precept more like you saying. But maybe by me applying this precept, it'll help you out as well. All right? And that's a friendship right there. And this is the way I explain it, but when these things actually play out into real life, you see your brother teaching on the highways and byways. And he dealt with this certain spirit. And he dealt with this certain situation in an exact way. And he was like, I could have dealt with it a little different. Are you really going to say something? And actually still be able to have that conversation in love. Still be able to have that conversation as a friendship. Your brother, he been reading or y'all been studying and he been noticing, or he made a video or he did whatever. And you notice like, okay, he didn't really bring out that precept how he could have brought it up. Right? You want to say something to that brother because you don't want to leave him. Right? Elisha said, I ain't never going to leave Elijah. I ain't never going to leave you. It says, the Lord be with me. I ain't never going to let you, man. And that's wise right there. That's why Elisha's so mighty, because he wise. Hey, guess what? As long as I'm in this truth, brother, I ain't never going to leave you. Brother, so keep my ass in the truth, because I'm in the world. Right? So help keep me in the truth. And that's all of our common goal. We all got a common goal. It's to be in this truth and to lift each other up. Like we say all the time, we don't have nothing each other, but we don't have nothing but each other. We don't. Right? Get another precept in 2 Kings 3 and 1. It says, now Jeroboam, the son of Ahab, began to reign over Israel and Samaria, the 18th year of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, and reigned 12 years. And he wrought, hold on, 2 Kings 3. Right. It says, and he wrought evil in the sight of the Lord. That's not what I want. We're going to leave it over there with Elijah and Elisha, which is extremely mighty. Right? But we can go to Daniel and the Holy Children. Let's go to Daniel, right? 2 and 49. Right? Daniel and the 3 Holy Children. Right? Daniel chapter 2 and verse 49. Right? Daniel chapter 2 and verse 49. Daniel chapter 2 and verse number 49. Then Daniel requested of the king, and he sent, I'm going to say the Hebrew names. He sent Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael over to the affairs of the province of Babylon. But Daniel sat in the gate of the king. Right, so Daniel, he was second in command under the empire, right? Meaning he was, for lack of better terms, to be a vice president. But he always made sure the three holy children, they were safe, except for when the king was persecuted, which we come to find out that, the Most High was with those brothers. But Daniel being a vice president, he having it, right? So how do you think Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael was living, right? Right, outside of them being in the fiery furnace because of the king, outside of Nebuchadnezzar doing that wickedness, how do you think they were living, man? I mean, if Daniel is your friend, right? My brother, he might be mighty in knowing the precepts. I might call that brother and say, "What's that precept when X, Y, Z?" I was just meditating on it. I have no reason to know it. I just want to know. And guess what? He tell me right out the back. Hey, guess what? My friend is Daniel. Hey, brother, what's that prophecy when basically stuff gonna be going over there in Russia, and then basically he gonna put in the spirit of the Edomites, and it's gonna start happening? He like, oh yeah, that's this priest. Man, my friend is Daniel. My friend is Daniel. Right? He giving me the breakdowns. He giving me the knowledge. Right? Sometimes your brothers got to give you knowledge. Sometimes your friends gotta give you knowledge. Right? The scriptures say, a matter of fact, let's get that precept. I done quoted it like 20 times. Let's go to that in the book of Sirach, chapter 5. And verse number is it chapter 6? Sirach chapter Salaki, I really want to find this precept. Give me a quick second, okay? Salaki, I really want to find this precept. Brothers, bear with me for like 2 seconds. All right, I'm not gonna be able to find it. Salaki, basically, your wisdom is in your talk, right? Your wisdom is in your talk. So sometimes you want to have a wise friend to be able to lift you up with certain words of advice and wisdom, right? You want to have a wise friend. You want to have a wise brother. And if your brother is not wise, not the wisest, your brother is not that versed with the precepts, that doesn't mean you cast them away. That means y'all build each other up together, man. Right, so let's go to Luke 10 and 38, right? Luke 10 and 38, because Yahushua had friends. We already touched on Yahushua and Thomas, or Didymus. Let's go to Luke 10 and 38 about Yahushua, Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. Right, Luke 10 and number 38, the verse number 38. It says, and he sat to take Salakia. This is Matthew, Salakia. I want Luke chapter 10, verse number 38. Right, it says, now it came to pass as they went that he entered into a certain village, and a certain woman named Martha received him into her house. I mean, Yahushua, out of all of that work that he was putting in, you know what I'm saying, Martha received him to his house. I'm led to believe Yahushua was in there with his feet kicked up, right? It says, and she had a sister called Mary, which also sat at Yahushua's feet and heard his word. But Martha was coming about with much serving. So Martha was serving, the men of the Lord. But nonetheless, we don't go that far. But the point is, Martha, Mary, they let them in the house. You know what I'm saying? They were sisters. Martha and Mary were sisters, and they was letting the Lord in the house, right? They were not your modern day nigga woman. I'm effing free, right? That's not your modern day woman, man. Your modern day women, they actually accept men as brothers, unless they're their husband. If you're not my husband, you're my brother. If you're not my actual father, you're an elder. You're a father figure. You're an elder. You're not just, oh, he a little bit older with salt and pepper. No, right? Everything not revolved around lust, man. We have brothers and sisters in this truth. All right. So a man, it's okay to have a woman sister, right? Everything not surrounded about lust all the damn time. All right. Let's get another precept in John 11 and 21. John 11 and verse number 21 says, Then said Martha unto Yahushua, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. But now that even now, whatsoever thou wilt ask of God, God will give it thee. Right? So let's talk about Lazarus. Remember, Lazarus was a very close friend of the Lord as well. Lazarus meaning what? God has helped. And when Lazarus died, what Yahushua do? Weep. All right. So let's go to Paul, Priscilla, and Aquila. Romans 16 and 3. I got two more. All right. Romans 16 and 3. We're going to close this joint out. Romans chapter 16 and verse number 3. Greet Priscilla and Aquila, my helpers, and Hamashiach, right? Yahushua. Right, so Priscilla and Aquila, they were Paul's helpers, right? So I'm led to believe Paul, they having all kinds of the toe warmers, fine woolen, right? Purified garments of 100%, right? Making sure Paul needed help, man. Paul, I'm led to believe Paul was dealing with spiritual demons, meaning like feeling sad and all that kind of stuff, and PTSD, right? All that other stuff, right? Guess what? They were his helpers, right? They helped him out, right? So you might have a friend that's a woman, and guess what? She still can help you out, even though she's not your husband. And that's beautiful, man. I mean, you might have a friend that's a woman in the world. Y'all don't do nothing but wickedness. I mean, there's no fruit out of that relationship. Y'all just friends that say y'all friends because it's a secret lust going on. That's what they do in the world. Yeah, that's just my friend. That's my homegirl. But y'all secretly lusting. But y'all just act like it don't. Y'all get off on that secret. I mean, I used to get off on that secret lust, right? I know I'm into her and I know she into me. But we just gonna keep calling each other friends, right? That's not how it goes in this truth. In the truth, if we friends, we can be friends and we help each other, right? And if you think about it, that's to your welfare. If I got a sister and she's my friend, and guess what? We might be able to build wealth together. You might be able to make flyers for me for my videos. You might be able to edit my videos. All right. You might be able to, help me get new shoes so I can do a better job at work. You might help me to get new boots so I can do a better job on the highways and byways. And I might get you a little warm Under Armour skirt. So you warm sitting on the side, whatever it may be. That's an actual friendship to where we actually benefit each other. So if you got a friendship with a man or a friendship with a woman, it's always benefited. Right? And the last precept I'm going to get is Philippians 2 and 19. Right? Philippians chapter 2 and verse 19. Philippians chapter 2 and verse number 19. Right? It says, But I trusted in the Lord Yahushua to send Timotheus shortly unto you, that I also may be of good comfort when I know your state. For I have no man like-minded who will naturally care for your state. For all seek their own, not the things which are Yahushua HaMashiach's. But ye know the reproof of him, that as soon as the father, as a son with the father, he have served me in the gospel. Him therefore I hope to send presently, as soon as I shall see how it will go with thee. But I trust in the Lord that I also myself shall come shortly. Yet I suppose it necessary to send unto you Epaphroditus, my brother, and companion in labor, and fellow soldier, but your messenger, and he hath ministered to my wants. For he longed after you all, and was full of heaviness, because that ye had heard that he had been sick. For indeed he was sick, nigh unto death, but God had mercy on him, and not only on Salakia, and not on him only, but on me also. At least come on, man, this joint keep freezing, right? On me also, right? He had mercy on Epaphroditus because he was sick, and he had mercy on Paul. So Paul is sending out Epaphroditus He confirms him as his friend. He confirms him as his federal laborer. Right? And he was sick unto death, and Paul had mercy, and Paul was still. That means Paul got sick with him, right? It says, verse 28, I sent him therefore to the more carefully, that when ye see him again, ye may rejoice, and that I may be loved, and I be less sorrowful. Receive him therefore in the Lord with all gladness, and hold such in reputation, because for the work of Yahushua, Hamashiach, he was nigh unto death, not regarding his life, to supply your lack of service toward me. Right. So like Yahushua said, the greatest of you should be the servants, man. So a true friendship always seeks out the welfare of the people around him and not himself. And that's the true spirit of a day of atonement. Right? To atone for my sins, I want to make sure I'm there for all of my brothers from this point on. All right. And to atone for my sins in the future, not even only on the Day of Atonement, I want to make sure that I'm showing love and I'm showing care to my brothers. And I charge every brother and I charge every sister that watched this video and that was on this live stream to examine yourself on how you can be a better friend. Examine yourself on how you can be a better person when it comes to dealing with other people, whether it's people in the world when you're teaching, or it's people that you stand side by side at camp, or it's people that you live right next to, whoever it may be. Examine yourself on how you can just treat people better in all aspects in righteousness under keeping the commandments. And with that, shalom, yashallah, shalom, shalom.